Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech for your daily dose of your latest gaming news with myself, Amata. Today is the 5th of February and I have some news to you today regarding Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, as a rather lot of information has been published in a new issue of Game Informer, which is rather tasty to say the least. Now, there's quite a lot of information here, so just bear with me. I'm just going to go through it and then give some thoughts on a couple of the interesting tidbits shown here. So the details are as follows. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is set in 1975, while the Phantom Pain is set in 1984. And in true MGS fashion, infiltrating Camp Omega can be achieved a number of ways, and the Snake's binoculars will be able to be used to tag enemies, which will allow you to see them in your minimap, and the feature can be turned off in the options menu if you do not wish to have this available in the game. Guard AI patterns apparently been improved and are, quote, wider and more unpredictable than in previous games, so they won't just follow the same path where you can just sort of wait for them to do their circuit and then sneak past kind of thing. They will actually behave a little more naturally. And players can apparently fire weapons from both a first and third person perspective, and apparently line of sight shooting is well polished. And a playtester is able to actually shoot between the wires in a barbed wire fence, which is actually kind of cool. Usually that kind of thing would not be actually achievable, as it would usually be an invisible wall or something like that. So inventory management is done with a D-pad, and the earlier inventory system is gone apparently, and all found weapons can be used. So if your enemy drops an awesome weapon that you want to use, hells yeah, you can use that. And apparently when you're escaping an enemy, an on-screen indicator is no longer used. Instead, a directional indicator similar to what was used in Far Cry 3 will be implemented instead. And an enemy's level of alertness no longer depletes via a counter, and you will now have to observe the enemy and also keep an ear on the intercepted radio. So basically you can't just hide for 10 seconds or whatever and then come back. You have to actually keep an eye on the enemy, listen to what they're saying via the radio, and as soon as they say, oh, it's all clear, there's nothing here or whatever, you know it's safe to come back out. And until such time, well, you better stay hiding, son. And as well as this, we have a new ability entering the fray which will allow the player to slow down time briefly when discovered by a guard, and it will actually allow you to shoot the guard in order to escape, and again this can be deactivated. So it seems like they're adding new features in to basically keep the game fresh, but given perhaps old school players who might not like these new features, an option to turn them off, which is actually pretty smart when you think about it. So they must have balanced it for both on and off, which is got to be quite a lot of work, to be honest. And for melee attacks, a bottom prompt will appear when Snake is close enough to kill an enemy, and you can select between interrogate, knockout or kill. And selecting the interrogate option will force the guard to reveal locations for ammo and secret passages, and maybe eventually there would be sort of, you know, story things, or where is this character, where can I find this person, involved in the interrogation mechanic. I would not be surprised to see that. Now, vehicles will take some time to learn, and supposedly turning radiuses are, quote, pitiful. And Ground Zeroes will come with a handful of extra missions and will feature leaderboards. And a playtester supposedly completed the mission in less than 2 hours, and apparently not to set the cat amongst the pigeons or anything like that, but MGS 5 looks, quote, slightly better on PS4 than Xbox One. Now, unlocking side missions will require you to collect XOF patches, and collecting them will unlock the special platform-specific missions, which, of course, they did detail quite some time ago. I believe I did a video on it, a couple of videos actually, for both platforms, if I remember correctly. So if you wish to check those out, then just have a good look-see at the channel, as I did cover them previously. So, quite a few details here, and it sounds like they are bringing some new changes to the field, but also keeping in mind that, hey, this might not go down so well with the old fans. Let's give them the option to ignore it, which I think is actually a pretty smart play. It must have added quite a bit of development time to balance the game for both styles of play, but it's still a good thing that they kept that in mind, and I think that players might appreciate it, especially if they're not too fond of the new mechanics. But to be honest, most of them sound fine. The features that you can turn off, is only 2 of them, and I don't really see the huge advantage of actually having them turned on, to be honest. The tagging feature is useful, but anyway, that is me done for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think of the new features? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Are you planning on having them enabled, or are you going to turn them off as soon as the game is in your disk drive? Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.